welcome back once again to Joe the Shirts Off the Cuff. Oh boy, it's been way too long. Sorry about that, everybody. Nothing dire happened. Needed to take a little time off for a little me time for me and the girlfriend. Then she got sick. Then my dog got sick. Nothing dire. Everybody's okay. Just dealing with life as it comes. And, I don't get paid to do this. So, I do it, when I find the time and the energy. And as always, I always have the love, just not always have the time and the energy. And I needed to dedicate some of that time and energy to my girlfriend and my dog. Anyway, thank you for listening in once again. I just checked the statistics for the last show, the midnight time for a homicide show. Plenty of you listened in. Thank you for that. And before we get into today's show, as you always know, I like to bury the lead. But even before that, today's music is brought to you by the band known as Bankrupt. And that was their first song for today, called 18 Now. Okay. We're going to start off with a little health report. I don't know how healthy you guys are. I know that I'm not the healthiest human being on the planet. But in a recent Sunday magazine in the paper, they were listing, 3 things you can do today, 3 things you can do next week, and 3 things you should do by the end of the year to be healthy. They're talking about getting healthy in 3 months. 3 months to healthy. This is from the LA Times. And first thing they do, things to do today. Okay? Things you can do. 3 things that will help you to get healthy. Some of these I found very interesting. Number 1 among them, okay? Eat breakfast. Is that something? Number 1 thing you can do that he lists here is to eat breakfast. Apparently, according to this, the evidence linking a hearty breakfast and a healthy weight keeps getting more convincing. Earlier this year, scientists put 93 overweight or obese women on a 1,400 calorie a day diet and told one group to eat half of those calories at breakfast and the other to eat the other half at dinner. Those who ate the big breakfast lost 10 pounds more after 12 weeks than those who ate the big dinners. Apparently, lower levels of fat in their blood and better blood sugar levels, reducing the risk of heart attack and type 2 diabetes. So there you go. Eat breakfast, guys. One study suggests that a half-carb, half-protein breakfast are the most effective for weight loss. Think scrambled eggs with a slice of whole wheat toast. Look at that. Eating breakfast is one of the top things you can do to not just have overall better health, but you will actually lose weight by eating a nice, hearty breakfast. Go fig. Next thing they mention is to ease your stress with sound. Apparently the best sound that you can listen to on a decently regular basis is sounds of water running. It's found that those who listen to the water before performing certain tasks had the calmest, were the most productive, and had the least amount of stress hormone known as cortisol, which has been associated with type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and weight gain. Okay? If you don't have a stream or a river near but where you live, pick up a CD, and just listen to it every once in a while, maybe start a koi pond. And the third thing is cut down on salt. Remember, these are the 3 things you can do today. Eat breakfast, ease your stress with sounds of water, and cut down on salt. Now, I'm sure we've all heard that one before, okay? But it's apparently not as much salt as you may think. Now, apparently, Americans, on average, consume 3,400 milligrams of salt, of sodium, to be exact, all right? That's what we're looking for. Now, according to the American Heart Association, they recommend that everybody just eats no more than 1,500 milligrams of salt a day. Now, a lot of you think to yourself, well, I don't eat a lot of salt. I don't even salt my eggs. Hell, shit, I don't even salt my eggs. But there's so much salt in a lot of the food we eat, and I'm going to get to that. Now, instead of going all the way down to 1,500, which is pretty damn low and, probably good for you, they suggest that if they can go from 3,400 milligrams of sodium a day to just 2,300 milligrams a day. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, why not go from 34 to 15? Like the American Heart Association says. Well, according to this study, all right, the Institute did not find enough evidence to support what the American Heart Association blanket recommendation says to decrease salt consumption. apparently that there's no significant difference between reducing your sodium down to 2,300 milligrams or 1,500 milligrams. Apparently, it's not that big of a jump, not that big of a difference to the vast majority of people out there. So if you go from 3,400 to 2,300, it's only 1,100 of the 1,100 milligrams there. You will be pretty much just as healthy as anybody that goes all the way down to 1,500 milligrams. Now, one of the ways that people consume salt is, of course, in very processed food. They say that you should try to make your own food at home, make your own breakfast, lunch, dinner, and, not have processed food. They said to skip that. Now, they list stuff like, let's see, bread, cold cuts, and pizza. I read this, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to die, y'all. I'm going to die. I'm not giving up bread, cold cuts, and pizza. I'm going to die. If you want to get things to do to get healthy next week, they say get a flu shot. Not everybody agrees with that one. This one is a biggie. Start an exercise program and stick to it. Apparently, you really don't need to exercise all that much. They recommend really 2.5 hours a week. All right? That's really what they're going for. 2.5 hours a week. That's roughly 20 minutes a day. All right? Go out for a walk. Go dancing. Do some housework. It's amazing how much energy you expend just doing housework. And finally, for things to start next week, get a dental irrigator. It's a little jet that you jam in between your teeth into the pockets in your gums to really just blast out the bacteria. Now, the other stuff here I'm not going to tell you about because I'm not going to advocate, philanthropy. I don't, care about others. Now, before we get into the main topic of today, I got a bunch of little stories that I want to cover, which I've been wanting to do for the longest time. So let's just dive into them a little bit, okay? Okay, first one. Let's go with AHA. According to a recent study, bites by canine units are significantly higher and increasing for minorities over, say, Caucasians. Wow. Who'd have thought? Police attack dogs are biting blacks and Latinos more than they bite white people. Oh my God. OMG. LMAOF. Oh. Not only is it already high to begin with, but it's getting higher. According to this, according to the report, the number of Latinos bitten by dogs, and this is in LA County, increased 30% from 30 bites in 2004 to 39 in 2012. Similar increase of 33% in blacks. Now, this I found the most interesting. Now, the report showed that 5 sheriff stations, Century, Lenox, Compton, Lakewood, and City of Industry, not only had the highest number of bites, but also had the more bites than all of the other 21 stations combined. Now, the stations with the lowest dog bites were in more affluent areas, such as, say, Marina del Rey, West Hollywood, where I live, and Beverly Hills. Who'd have thought? Which I don't know what that means exactly. I mean, is it telling us that canine units are disproportionately using their dogs to attack minorities, or that white people don't commit as much crime, that Latinos and blacks just happen to commit more crime, or that maybe there aren't as many canine units in West Hollywood, Marina del Rey, and Beverly Hills. Now, I live in West Hollywood, which is right next door to Beverly Hills, and I'm telling you right now, I have never seen a canine unit anywhere near here, okay? So maybe it's just that, minorities should stop committing crime. I don't know. I know. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am a minority, so please, no hate email, okay? Now, here's a story that I really enjoyed. You may have heard of this on the news. It was all over the place. About a 9-year-old boy from, Minneapolis who snuck onto an airplane to Las Vegas. Okay, he's 9 years old. Now, the kid, apparently, a 9-year-old from Minneapolis, slipped through airport security onto a Delta Airlines flight to Las Vegas last week. This was about 2 weeks ago, actually. Let's see, a day. Now, this is what's really fun. This kid has been working up to this, all right? A day earlier, he took light rail to Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, stole a stranger's bag off a baggage carousel, ordered a meal at a pre-security airport restaurant, and left without paying. Now, the next day, the boy got a little braver, okay? He arrives at the light rail again. He went to the security checkpoint, which does not require photo IDs from children, and passed through the screening process while pretending to be part of a family. Once at the gate, the boy chatted up the airline boarding employee until the workers were distracted by passenger, at which point the boy slipped onto the plane. The child... No. Now, the kid was caught before he got to Las Vegas. They figured out what the fuck was going on. But, this brings up a lot of issues for me. Like, for instance, what kind of gambling is he doing in Las Vegas? I mean, what's he betting on exactly? What's there that he really needs to get to? I mean, does he want to make it to his bookie? March Madness is nowhere near in sight. No, and also, really... the fact that, children can go through, without presenting ID is a little scary to me, I think. Now, the TSA had this to say, quote, "The child was screened along with other passengers to ensure that he was not a threat to the aircraft." Yeah, but still, okay? Yeah, but still, TSA. I mean, that's what I call a big lapse in security when just some random kid... who cleverly plotted this, Kevin McAllister here was able to get on a plane, and make it all the way to Las Vegas. Those of you who are too young to know who Kevin McAllister is, go home and watch Home Alone 2. All right, moving along. Okay, I talked this to death for the last couple of shows that I did. We're talking about, of course, the U.S. Federal government being shut down. And according to this, as early as October 22nd, the U.S. could be in default. If that happens, that means a lot of really bad shit happens that involves not just us and our fucked up issues, but also other countries' issues with us. Allegedly, they're close to making a deal. This is 3.5 weeks later after the shutdown. But, things are still chugging along. It looks as if the Republicans are finally ready to, give in and not let the United States go into default, not let all these federal programs continue to just twist in the wind, all these people that rely on federal loans, all these people that would like to go to, say, federal parks, all these people that would like to get their, federal checks, just stuff like that, nothing important. And all these people who have to continue to work, like, say, the military, who don't get paid, and the people that would like to leave the country who can't get, just went blank. That thing you use when you travel. Hate it when I do that. It'll come to me sooner or later. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't. In any case, I'm going to take a little break, and then we'll go in with our top story, okay? Here's more of Bankrupt and their song, Cinderella. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm Off the Cuff, and I'll be right back.
You met Cinderella, tell her you wanna take her home and make her stay forever, unless you wanna die alone. You need a guardian angel, tell her you
And Jill the Shirt is back. And off the cuff, as always. Welcome back, everybody. Okay. Let me grab this here. Hold on here. Now, throughout history, there have been a lot of controversial figures. Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini. And, these are guys that, people just, for the most part, just can't stand, hate, vilify. And then there are those characters that we tend to, just hold up to such a high standard of humanity. People that we believe, depending on your culture, that you really believe were just incredible people meant to do incredible things. And they did incredible things. Just true, loving humanitarians. And for the most part, we tend to agree on them. A lot of times, there will be some people that, will still go, no. This person did that. One of the more controversial figures in American history, especially, would be Malcolm X. Now, for a lot of African Americans, a lot of minorities in general even, Malcolm X is a symbol of fighting oppression, as the man said, by any means necessary. Not just taking on the peaceful approach, okay, by saying, hey, I'm fucking here, you won't fucking ignore me, this is wrong, do something about it. And this is a controversial figure. But he is, for the most part, when it comes to the African American community, seen as a very positive figure, not by all. Now, when you think about a figure, say, like Martin Luther King, also seen as an incredibly positive figure, but that took on a very, very different approach to initiating change in the United States social structure. And you're going to be very hard-pressed to find any African-American on the planet, especially of American descent. Africans I can't speak for, but African-Americans of American descent, you're going to find very few people who are going to say anything negative about Martin Luther King. I've yet to find one. Okay? And the same can be said about the white population as well. Yes, there will be many whites, we call them racist, who don't appreciate a lot of things that Martin Luther King spoke about. Definitely didn't appreciate anything Malcolm X had to say. But, I look at history and I think, who is there anybody that we can all agree on? Anybody at all. And one of the great thinkers of modern time is a man I've actually owned a couple of his books. Would be the one and only Mahatma Gandhi. Very famous man. You may have heard of him. And also known originally as let me see if I say this right, Mohandas K. Gandhi, the Indian nonviolent leader, renowned throughout the world as being a very peace-loving, nonviolent leader, a man of change, a man that wanted to bring change to his country, to his people, not just from British oppression, but from the oppression from within his own people. India being very famous for using a caste system. For those of you unfamiliar with that, the caste system decided that there were levels of people, that some people were just simply innately better than others, and that you were just born that way, that you were not meant to be elevated at any point, and you could not go down, as far as I know. The caste system, it was a way of establishing control over the poor, over the less fortunate, and making sure that they could not bring themselves up. Okay, we're not going to talk too much about that right now. Now, apparently, in the city of Cerritos, there is a business that decided that they were going to put up a statue, a bronze statue, a bronze, lifelike, 600-pound statue of Gandhi in front of their building. This was done as part of a deal that they had made, wherein they either had to donate money for a public works project or put up one of their own. They decided to put up one of their own, and they decided to go with Mahatma Gandhi. It makes perfect sense to me. You know, for a lot of people, a cultural icon, a visionary, a hero. Now, apparently not everybody agrees with this, and there was a meeting in Cerritos where people got up and said that, that Mohandas K. Gandhi, the Indian nonviolent leader, wasn't the man that city leaders think he is. This person that is speaking, actually, this is a quote now, in reference to Mahatma Gandhi, said, what if somebody put up a statue of Hitler? Or let's say Chairman Mao. Now, people are like outraged at this immediately. They're like, oh my God, how can you fucking say this? How can you compare Mahatma Gandhi to Hitler or Mao Zedong? How can you do this, According to them, the Gandhi perpetuated the caste system, even though allegedly he was against it. He did not believe that there was any such thing as what is known as an untouchable, which is the lowest caste within the caste system. I don't recall what it's called. Please forgive me. But he actually perpetuated it. He actually liked it. Also believed that he had allied himself with Adolf Hitler, and that he was a sexual deviant who routinely slept naked with his grandnieces. Now, a lot of this, I know, for everybody sounds a little far-fetched. You're thinking, no fucking way. And then a lot of you are thinking, yeah, I could see it. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, if you came up to me and told me that Mahatma Gandhi was in favor of the caste system, he was pals with Adolf Hitler, and that he slept naked with his grandnieces, there's a part of me that could believe, well, it's possible. I believe it. I believe it's possible. Okay? Now, what is really interesting about this particular story is the people who are bringing up the protest to the statue. And the people that are doing this are Indians. The person who was talking about, what if somebody wanted to put up a statue of Hitler or, say, Chairman Mao, is one B.J. Singh. Let's see. He is an Indian immigrant with who is apparently in the U.S. Navy military. He's been here living in Cerritos for 12 years, and he believes that Gandhi was bullshit. Now, in opposition of this, some historians have come forward and saying that that these people are they're misconstruing the truth. They're taking like little nuggets of information and just blowing it out of proportion. One of these people, hold on here, being associate's professor from UCLA, Vinay Lal, said that the Organization for Minorities of India, which is the organization that's protesting the statue of Gandhi, takes a more dramatic stance than others. There are people that are ferociously opposed to Gandhi, Lal said, but these people, this is a quote now, these people really go to the extreme. He says that there isn't this kind of anxiety in India. Okay, according to him, organizations take partial truths and arrive at flawed conclusions. Okay, what he says is Gandhi did, in fact, once write a letter to Hitler, asking him to reconsider his ways. Gandhi wrote Hitler, it's like, hello, Mr. Hitler, I was thinking, maybe you should not kill the Jews. That is pretty much what he's saying. That's what he wrote to Hitler. This is not the way to go, man. Okay, you write a letter to somebody, that doesn't make you pen pals. He also said that he conducted an experiment on himself in self-control by sleeping naked with young women. None of them blood relations. And as for the whole caste system, it's very famously known that he opposed the caste system. I just found this amazing because we're talking about actual Indians against Gandhi. That's like, African Americans against Martin Luther King. It's just nuts. It's like Christians against Jesus. Okay, maybe that's going a bit too far. But, it's it's not something that I ever saw coming. Like I said, I've read a couple of books by Gandhi. One of my favorite ones is actually a very small book with a bunch of quotes in it, which is worth checking out. If I had thought about it, I would have brought it out. Actually, no, I don't have it anymore. I gave it as a gift to a good friend of mine. But honestly, if there was one guy you think we could all agree on, Gandhi was a good guy, I thought that was it. I thought he was the guy. Apparently not, and not so much that Muslims are opposing him, or Christians, or Buddhists, or no. It's Indians. Actual Indians are against Gandhi. Indians against Gandhi. That's one I gotta tell you, I really didn't see coming. Well, on that note, actually, we're going to take a slightly earlier break than usual because I want to get to some other stories because I got a bunch of them here. Most of them on the shorter side, so, I'm going to see if I can burn through them so I can get ready for the more serious stuff in the next show, okay? Coming up now, we have more Bankrupt and their song, Lonesome Trains. I'm Joe the Shirt, and I'm off the cuff, and I'll be right back.
Strike. No way, way out. The union reps are holding night. No way, way out. That's how you end a fucked up year. That's how we sort things out down here. As sardines are ready, it won't interfere. Nothing at the rhythm strike. No way, way out. With means like this, I'm getting the right. No way, way out. It's funny how everything fails. Life's passing viral on some trains. The vein of the rhythm strike. No way, way out. Going nowhere at the speed of light. No way, way out. It's funny how everything fails. Life's passing viral on some trains. It's funny how everything fails. Life's passing viral.
And Joe the Shirt is back. Now, that was a rarity. It was a very short song. Had to take the short break there because I had to go pee. All right? Hope you guys don't mind too much. All right. Moving right along. Let's see. Okay. There we go. As you know, I'm not a big fan of animal activist groups, folks like PETA. You would think that's a little weird coming from a guy like me because I am a big animal fan. I've always had pets. I don't go hunting, and the only time I've ever gone fishing is to catch and eat what I catch. But I believe that way too many of these animal rights groups tend to get a little silly, a little too much. Here's a recent one for you. There was a recent protest in Hollywood. Let's see, where was it here? It was on Hollywood Boulevard. One left by Jenny Haynes, who is a campaign coordinator. He's a national campaign coordinator for Mercy for Animals, who decided to protest, the eating of animals, because they protest not just the eating of animals, but also the way that the animals are treated on farms and slaughters and houses and all that good stuff. Okay, whatever. They always do this. But it's the way that she decided to protest. They hung out on Hollywood Boulevard with a 10-foot inflatable. I'm gonna get a picture of this on for you guys, but it's a 10-foot inflatable puppy wrapped in a hot dog bun, and then with what looks like ketchup and mustard and lettuce around it. And it was meant to be shocking and, grotesque. And it's actually really fucking cute. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. And it was very, very, let's say, ineffective. Another thing to consider, besides the fact that it is a really, really cute inflatable puppy in a hot. I mean, think about it. Go if you ever, go online, find puppy, wrapped in a hot dog. It's the cutest damn thing possible. It really is. Or like grab your puppy and put him in a bun. I'm telling you, take a picture. It's the cutest thing possible. Okay, it's a hot dog. Okay, it was very, very ineffective. Especially when you consider that she was doing this on Hollywood Boulevard, along the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I got to tell you right now, Hollywood Boulevard on a Saturday, a 10-foot inflatable puppy stuffed into a hot dog bun is not the strangest thing you're going to see on Hollywood Boulevard. Okay? Not by far. So, yeah, that didn't work at all for her. Moving back to my hometown, which is West Hollywood. West Hollywood has put a ban on fur. Apparently, West Hollywood's fur ban, the nation's first, went into effect over last weekend, garnering praise from animal advocates and displeasure from businesses in the city that deal in fur. Okay, the ban prohibits retailers from selling, trading, distributing, importing, or exporting any fur product, which could mean any item of clothing that is composed in whole or in part from the pelt or skin of any animal with its hair, fleece, wool, or fur attached. Okay, so if you live in West Hollywood, you can't have fur. I recommend all of you out there go out and get a bikini wax. Oh my God! And they're also, by the way, they're trying to put a ban on leather, which ought to be interesting considering how many belts and shoes are worn in this part of town. I found this really funny because in my own building that I live in, one of my neighbors posted a little sign advertising a fur-lined gloves as a Christmas gift. And I'm like, there's a ban on that. You can't do that. I think this is stupid. I think it's self-righteous stupidity. You know what? If you don't want to wear fur, don't wear fur. You don't want to eat meat, don't eat meat. As I've said again and again and again and again and again, as long as I'm on top of the food chain, I'll eat and wear whatever the fuck I want. Now, what's one of the ones that's going for here? Oh, this one. Also, back here in Los Angeles. In an effort to improve learning and grades here in Los Angeles School District decided to try making sure that every student within the Los Angeles School District had an iPad. So that way they can have access to information online for studying, for doing their homework, for communicating with teachers, with schools, really, when you think about it, a computer really opens up a whole new world to you. They gave iPads to kids in the Los Angeles School District. It took not even a week for most of these kids to just find a way to either hack into their iPad so that they could access all those little sites that they're not supposed to, i.e. porn sites, Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. And also, many of them just, happen to disappear. probably not the sharpest idea the LA school district had, especially when you consider that the program started out with, let's see, at over cost of over $1 million. Let's see, nearly 300 students at Roosevelt High School got to hack through their security programs. 71 missing iPads and another one. And let's see. And oh yeah, and some were just outright sold. Good one. Los Angeles School District, good one. Way to go. Way to not understand your kids. I know. It's unfair. Back when I was a kid, back when I was in high school, all right, you know what? Back when I was in junior high school, I was in one of the first schools in New York where they introduced computers to us. Now, what you have to understand is that back then the computers were as big, as bulky, and as heavy as the radiator in my New York City apartment. All right, the screen was black and white. It was smaller. It was about the size of my 13-inch TV, and the whole damn thing weighed, more than I did, and was bolted to the table. All right, so it wasn't much of a chance of poor kids just up and taking them away. So what do they do now? Instead, they take a bunch of poor kids and they give them $600 iPads and tell them, here, take this home with you. Yes, good. Another good one for Los Angeles. The city still continues to, that's a little redundant, continues to try to get a high-speed railway system going through Los Angeles. And they keep coming into a lot of little stumbling blocks here and there. Because, they say budgetary problems, they say, zoning problems, district problems. But I think the biggest problem is who the fuck wants to get into a very small, high-speed metal container underground in earthquake country. I've lived in Los Angeles now for nearly 20 years, and I didn't even realize that there was a train system up until about 5 years ago. So I've never been on one, and I don't intend to. Hold on there. Okay. Here's a fun one that I saw. Would you be willing to give up your U.S. citizenship to avoid paying taxes? I know it sounds a little out there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, there's a lot of stuff that, I'm pissed off about how taxes work, but I'm not about to give up my U.S. citizenship. But apparently, more and more people, that's exactly what they're doing, because they don't like the idea of having to have the U.S. government, Big Brother, in their business. Now, okay, this is what's going on here. It's not as simple as all that. What's going on here is that a lot of Americans live abroad. They live overseas. They live in countries like, Germany, Sweden, Russia, wherever the fuck it is they live. And a lot of times, they're there for, a whole bunch of reasons. They may be there for business, for family. Maybe they went over there, they fell in love. They have children there. They have a business there. They have homes there. Maybe they're retiring there. And that's what they do. But the United States is worried that a lot of times these Americans are actually tax cheats. Okay. A recent American law that has had an impact on as many as an estimated 6 to 8 million U.S. citizens who live outside the United States. The measure was approved in 2010, was aimed at cracking down on tax evasion. But it has also resulted in law-abiding Americans abroad being denied bank accounts or mortgages in the countries where they live in and forced to reveal financial information about their loved ones. So what's going on is the United States is saying, hey, we want to be able to see everything you're doing, including everything it is your spouse is doing, and what your spouse's business is doing, and what you're doing. And a lot of people do not want to reveal these things. And then what's happening is that the only way to do that is through the banks that people abroad are working through, which means, like, say, Swedish banks, English banks, and then English banks and Swedish banks do not want to reveal what's going on in their banks to the U.S., Internal Revenue Service. So what they're doing is saying, no, screw you, we're not going to do that. So when Americans go to, say, a Swedish bank, an English bank, a German bank, and say, hey, you know what? I want to buy a house. Can I get a loan? Can I get a mortgage? They're telling them no. Why not? Well, because if we do that, then we have to give our information to the IRS, and we don't feel like doing that. And so they're being denied loans. They're being denied. They're having people that they've been married to for years telling them, you know what? I'm going to separate our bank accounts because I don't want the U.S. government knowing what I make as a German citizen living in Germany. I don't know how it is their fucking business to know what it is I make. All right. Now, proponents of the law say that it helps to ferret out wealthy tax cheats in America and abroad suspected of hiding millions or even billions of dollars in offshore accounts. But, this also affects Americans that have a lot less money than that, who for reasons like, say, I don't know, love, work, or adventure, now say they're having trouble buying a home, paying for their kids' education, or planning for a comfortable retirement because of FATCA. That's the acronym they came up with for this. Because of FATCA, some overseas banks are refusing to take on American customers, declaring themselves unwilling or financially unable to report information to the IRS, which is, after all, the tax agency of a foreign nation. Makes sense to me. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, well, Americans are not going to really give up their citizenship, are they? Well, think of this. In the first half of this year, 1,809 people renounced their U.S. citizenship or their right to reside in the U.S. That's a tally that exceeds already all of 2012. All right? Now, I understand what these folks are thinking. They're thinking to themselves, all right, you know what? I don't want to have to, have Big Brother watching over me all the time. And it's a valid point. I get it. It's quite a valid point. But what you also have to consider is when you renounce your American citizenship, you're also renouncing American protection. Okay? You guys might remember not that long ago, we had some Somali pirates who captured, I think it was an American yacht, and they took the people hostage, and America went after them. But if those people had renounced their American citizenship, America wouldn't go after them. Now, I don't know if you guys remember what happened right after 9/11. For about a good almost 2 weeks, nobody claimed responsibility for what happened. Eventually, Al-Qaeda did. But take this into consideration. They did it after a couple of weeks. And the reason for that is there's a huge difference between the United States being aware of you and the United States looking for you. Let's just keep that in mind out there, all you guys out there that are thinking about renouncing your American citizenship. Lord knows I'm not doing it anytime soon. In any case, that's it for me today. That's the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Here is more Bankrupt, also with their song Face the Failure. I'm Joe the Shirt. I've been Off the Cuff, and thank you for listening.